Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. This is a short practice to unwind from the day, reset your day. Just find a moment of silence, a moment of stillness. And we're going to hold pose a little bit longer. It's more of a yin or restorative practice. So you definitely are going to need props. You want to have your blocks. You want to have a blanket or a bolster, maybe some pillows to help support yourself while we're in these little longer holds. So to start off and to open our practice, we are going to be in reclined Baddha Konasana, but you're going to be slightly up on a bolster or something. So I'm going to take my blanket here and I'm going to place my blocks underneath them, giving myself a little bit of an angle here to give myself a little bit of support, right? So I'm going to put it at an angle. I'm going to lean back onto it. My low back's going to come right there at the edge, and I'm going to lay back over it, making sure my back is supported, making sure my head is supported, and then just settling in. So the most important part is to find that you're comfortable. And then your legs can go with Baddha Konasana here. If this is too much for your hips, too much for your low back, you can take the knees, let them knock in, let your feet be apart the distance of your mat. So you have options there. Let the chest open, let your shoulders relax, and find your breath. Bring yourself into the room, onto your mat, and into your body. And growing your breath a little bit deeper. You don't really have to engage that Ujjayi pranayama, but just have deeper breaths. Let your breath be full on the inhales and long on the exhale. Setting an intention in mind, setting an intention for yourself here. And take a nice full inhale through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Opening the lips and sigh it out. 2 more times. Inhale, let the belly grow. Let the ribs expand, let the chest rise. Holding it in. And sigh it out. 1 final time. Inhale, letting it draw in. Filling the lungs completely. Holding it in a little bit longer. And then sigh it out. Letting go of anything that's not serving you. Come back to your full inhales and exhales. See if you can release just a little bit more into the shoulders, into the hips, into the mind. If your mind wanders during this practice, acknowledge the thought, but bring it back to your body, back to the sensations in your body, and then breathe toward those sensations, allowing yourself to let go, go deeper into your intention, deeper into that mind and body connection. And take a full inhale here. And full exhale. Slowly bring the knees back up to center. Pausing there. And then bringing the hands by your side, either press into the floor, grabbing onto your legs. Draw your chin to your chest, rolling yourself up. And then pressing all the way up to seated. Go ahead and remove that bolster out of the way, remove those blocks off to the side for now. And then come to your hands and knees. Do a few rounds of CatCow here. Round down through those hands. And on your inhale, let the belly drop, shoulders roll back, neck grows long. Exhale, press in the hands around the spine. Again, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. 3 more times, inhaling. And exhaling. Breath and movement lasts the whole motion. Inhaling nice and slow, shoulder blades together. And exhale, round shoulder blades apart. One last time here, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come to a nice long spine. And then as you exhale, you're gonna take that right foot, step it forward. So your right foot's gonna come forward, left foot's gonna go back. You're gonna press into the ball of the foot, lengthen that leg back, and then drop the knee down. And then just start to walk that right knee out toward the side, walk the right foot out. And here's where you might want your bolster, your blocks again, because we're gonna hold into this stretch for a little bit. So you have your hands that you can press into. Your hips are gonna drop forward, but you're gonna find a little bit of engagement by drawing this front knee back and in. So you're finding engagement here, letting that left hip drop a little bit. Keep the back toe tucked under for a couple breaths to begin. And then as it loosens up, as you feel like you're comfortable to go deeper, maybe your elbows come to your blocks, maybe your elbows come to the bolster, maybe they go to the floor. I like to just have the bolster underneath just because it gives my elbows a little bit more support. Keep drawing in through the lower belly, lengthening the spine. And just breathe fully. Breathe into the tightness. And maybe over the next couple breaths, start to uncurl the back toe. As you do, press down into those toenails. Breathing into it. So as you uncurled your back toe, maybe there's a little bit too much sensation, so you need to come back to your hands for a couple breaths, which is totally normal. Do what's best for you. Breathing into it, adjusting your props as you need to do best for your body. Keeping some engagement, but finding some stillness. Breathing deep into it. We have about another minute here. Slowing down your breath. Finding some relaxation in the jaw, the face, the shoulders. And finding that little bit of engagement into the legs to find a deeper stretch. About 5 more full breaths here. One more full inhale. And exhale. Slowly bring those hands back to the floor. Tuck your back toe. Shift the hips back, straighten that front leg slightly. And then slowly slide that leg back. Come to your hands and knees. Rocking those hips a little bit. Maybe do a little cat-cow. And then when you're ready, taking the opposite leg forward. So that left foot's gonna come forward. Shift forward, and then straighten the back leg, tucking that back toe. Send the knee back a little bit deeper, and then let that knee drop. Walking that left foot out to the side, and then start on your hands. Draw the shoulders back, squeeze that left knee in and back toward the back of your mat as you draw that right knee forward slightly. Press into the ball of the back foot. And breathe here. And then as you're comfortable, lengthening out, maybe elbows to block, maybe elbows to floor. Make sure your elbows press equally. So a lot of times that right elbow is going to be able to be a little bit heavier than your left. See if you can get your left and your right equal. The left side's just as important as the right. So I find on this side I'm a little bit high, so I'm just going to bring my block under as well. And then take both elbows down. And I'm still squeezing that left Knee in and back toward the back of my mat while I'm drawing that right hip forward. And I'm lengthening my spine forward. I'm not rounding into the low belly. Maybe I start to uncurl that back toe. And just check in. It's going to get a little deeper, so you might need to come up, readjust, let the hip relax with your breath, and then start to let it drop again. And then just slow the breath down. Come back to that intention. Notice the sensations as they arise in the body. And then let yourself breathe through them. Allow yourself to sit with the discomfort. Sit with the sensations. The only time you don't want to sit with them too long is if it's a sharp pain. If it's there's too much discomfort to where it's causing you pain or a really sharp sensation, you want to slowly ease your way out, becoming a little bit less of that. This is not for the time for no pain, no gain. So you want to make sure that you are within discomfort, but able to tolerate that discomfort. Sitting with it, breathing with those sensations. You have about 5 more full breaths here. One more full inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to those hands. Exhale, shift the weight back as you tuck the back toes, straighten that front leg. And then slide that leg back, coming to those hands and knees, rocking out the hips. Maybe doing a little cat-cow. And then from here, we're going to go into supported shoulder stand. So you have the option of using the wall. I'm going to use the block today, but I'm going to use the block with a little bit more support. I'm going to take my blanket on top of that as well. So you can go up as high as you'd like. You can stack 2 blocks. Today, I'm just going to stack 1. And then from here, I'm going to bend my knees, roll down onto my back. And then I'm going to shift my hips up toward the ceiling, slide that blanket and block underneath so it can sit underneath my sacrum, underneath my pelvis. And I'm going to find a neutral position and pause. So making sure you're supported, whether you're pushing your feet against the wall or you're having your hips supported by the block. So it's not regular shoulder stand, it is supported. And then slowly bend the knees, taking those legs up to the ceiling. Draw in through the inner thighs, spread through the toes, and then press down into the elbows, draw those shoulder blades onto the back. Let the arms rest down by the side. And then spreading through the toes like you want to press the balls of the feet into the ceiling. And find your breath here. Full inhales and exhales. Letting your legs just release. Letting the blood drain down from the toes to the heart to find fresh oxygenated blood to send right back up to them. Keeping the legs slightly active, keeping the lower belly slightly active. Let that stillness settle in, not only physically, but also mentally. If distracting thoughts come into the mind, acknowledge them, send them away, and then bring those thoughts back to the sensations of the body, back to the intention, back to your breath. About 1 more minute here. Slowing down the breath, keeping the mind on the body and mind still. One more full inhale. And exhale. Slowly bending the knees. Bring those feet to the floor. Pause there for a moment. If your legs are up the wall, lay there for a moment, hugging the knees into the chest. And then if you're on the block, come up onto the balls of your feet, lift your hips, slide that bolster out, and then slowly rolling down onto your back. Draw those knees into the chest, giving them a little squeeze, maybe rocking a little bit from side to side. If you're near the wall, come back to your space. And once you come to your space, go ahead and lay down all the way down onto your back, using any props you need to be comfortable. I'm going to take my bolster here, my blanket, and create a little bolster for my legs as I find my Shavasana. But before Shavasana, one happy baby. Draw the knees into your chest, flex the feet up to the ceiling, draw those knees down, and rock a little bit, releasing the spine. And then releasing those legs, extending those legs out. Toes drop out, lengthen the tailbone to the end of your mat. Palms turn up, shoulder blades draw onto the back. And just allowing yourself to settle in, getting out any little wiggles you need to rest comfortably. Finding a nice long spine. And then wherever you are in your breathing cycle, exhale fully. Take a full inhale, let that belly rise. Chest expands, ribs expand, hold on to the breath. And sigh it out. Let your breathing come back to normal. Take rest in Shavasana. And then now allowing your next breath to come in a little deeper. And on your next breath, bring some movement into the fingers and toes. Maybe even the wrists and ankles. And on your next breath, reach your arms back behind your head, slide your feet together, give yourself a long stretch. And slowly bend the knees, draw the knees into the chest, giving them one final hug. And then when you're ready, using your arm as a pillow, roll over to your favorite side, pausing there for a moment, checking in mentally, checking in physically, acknowledging the shifts from the practice. And when you're ready, mindfully pressing yourself up, coming all the way back up to seated. Once you found that seated position, if your eyes have opened, let them close. Bring those hands to the heart center. Checking back in with that intention that you've set today. We'll seal that in as we close the practice with one Om. Take a full inhale. Bowing your head slightly, taking a moment, thanking yourself for taking time to be on your mat, to reset and to let go. Raising your head with a little smile on your face. Thank you for joining me. Drink lots of water, eat your veggies, and wear some sunblock. We'll see you next time. Namaste.